I saw a bunch of videos talking about the Ruger American Rimfire bolt action, but I did not see a bunch when I was debating to purchase myself the Ruger American Rimfire rifle, the Target models. There are a couple videos out there, and I've also got a couple little details here that are important for you if you're consider buying any of these. Failure I've had an issue with when I initially tested this thing out, and discuss the stock on this thing being less than ideal. I've looked it over, inspected it. Of course, got the scope on here. I've taken it out to the range a couple of times. Overall, I'm happy with the purchase. I'd feel good about it. And there are a couple of reasons why I chose to make the purchase in the first place. One, I wanted to try to get something that had a little more accuracy than I can get from my other two 22 rifles. And I also wanted something that was more like a trainer, help with muscle memory with the primary rifle I use to hunt. So this being a bolt action, it can do that with the Tang safety like it is, the same as my primary hunting rifle. Now, on initial inspection, I had a couple of things that, one was really troublesome, another one was a bit troublesome, and another one was just disappointing from Ruger. On initial takedown of this rifle, there were two things that really struck me as concerning. One, the inside of this stock, totally unfinished. No work done on at all. Rough wood, not even beginning of getting sanded down. It just, they cut it and we're done. No energy or effort at all. I was able to get this rifle for $3.99. The suggested retail is $4.99. I'd expect better for that. Heck, you get a cheap stock on a Ruger 1022. It's much nicer on the inside than this was. So, big fail, and a busy project for me when the weather is just terrible outside. Another thing that troubled me was this magazine release, which it works fine now, and of course houses the proprietary 1022 magazine, which is also, now you see the same magazine for this. Works fine now, but when I took it apart, this thing literally exploded. All the pieces to it fell apart, and the blowout diagram in the book doesn't show it very well. So I had to figure out how to put it back together, which, praise you, Jesus, I was able to do, and I was able to keep my cool like Fonzie and make it happen. The other thing on my initial inspection and review that was troubling to me, when I put this magazine in with some 22 cartridges and started cycling the bolt, they would not all extract. No matter how many times I'd push the bolt forward all the way and push it up forcefully, pull back, would not extract. Again, I was able to keep my cool, not get super crazed and frustrated. Brand new rifle. After I had to do the transfer fee from ordering it, over $400, and came over here and I just played a little bit with that extractor. Just played with it a little bit. Just moved it back and forth, and I put it back in the weapon, and as soon as I put it forward and pulled back, it worked. I've now put hundreds of rounds through this rifle. It works every time extracting. But that one time, it was a total fail on getting it. That's, again, another quality control issue. I would think for this level of a weapon, they'd be a little bit more on top of. So two biggies there, in my opinion. Mechanically speaking, you had the box magazine explode on you, and when I take this thing apart again, that's probably going to happen again, so I'm going to need to save a bunch of time out when I do a full disassembly. More so than a full disassembly, thanks to that thing exploding, and try to figure out how to get some blue Loctite on there to keep it functioning, and not doing that more in the future. And then the extraction issue. Cosmetically, and if you hunt with this thing and the rain, it can be a functional issue too. The interior of the stock is very rough, not finished. So those are the biggies there. Now, as far as accuracy goes, first couple hundred rounds, as most of y'all know, you're not going to get your best groups getting that barrel set up, but I can say I got quarter-size groups easily with good ammunition. I'm not talking premier ammunition, but good ammunition, CCI standard velocity. And before I took it out, one other thing I should make mention of, and it's in the book, tells you how to do it. There's a little diagram for it there. This trigger, when I had it on here initially, was 4.5 pounds. They say it can go up to 5. I didn't bother to see how far it would go up. I lowered it. The lowest it can go is 3 pounds. Now, as the book will tell you, you can keep twisting this after 3 pounds, but you're not accomplishing anything unless you just do it to the point where that comes loose, and you might have a mess on your hands. So go ahead and get a measurement, and once you get as low as you can go, quit turning the darn thing, and you'll be set to be able to pull that trigger. Like I said, it's probably a 3 to 5 pound range. Mine was exactly 3 pounds, was as low as it would go, and it's a comfortable trigger. It's working well for me. Initial quarter-size groups, a few better than that, and hopefully with a little more experience behind it, I'll do even better. Scope on here, some of you might be asking about. Not super high dollar, not super magnification. It's a 3x9, and it's tactical turrets on here. Vortex Diamondback. Yes, I understand this thing does not have a parallax adjustment on there. I also understand I don't have tons of money. This is a good enough scope for now. I might give myself a Christmas birthday present and upgrade in the future. But I can see stuff fairly close in, though not the crispest picture in the world. And I can take shots at the distance of 200 without it being impossible to accurately do so with this scope. And that's about all I'm trying to do with this thing. Just shoot targets, have a little fun competition with some friends, shooting this thing out to 200. The initial 50-yard line, it looked very good on the groupings, and I believe I'm going to take it out today. I'm going to be able to do a whole lot more distance without a problem with that MOA scope on here. I hope this has given you a little more information on some of the pluses and the drawbacks of the Ruger Rimfire Target. Just aesthetically, looks, it's a good rifle. With that being said, if you put your hand on here and you go down the side, again, Ruger disappointed me a little bit. It's not super smooth, guys. There are some blemishes here that you can feel with your bare fingers. Is it going to impact how accurate this rifle is? No, not at all. But just another detail Ruger failed me on. So, still, I think highly of the company. Think they're one of the better ones out there, but the attention to detail for this high-end rifle, they really did some fails as far as I'm concerned. I hope this has helped you out. Please do consider give me a thumbs up, and if you like this video and want more helpful, honest information, which is the thing I love about YouTube, you get honesty here from a lot of people that aren't paid for that insight. So consider subscribing as well, and have a blessed day.